Well, well, well. We made it another week and a new year, actually, Mr. Steven. It's a new year.
Yep.
It's
a new year.
2024. Happy 2024 to everyone out there. We hope you guys had a really good New Year's. We missed you.
Or at least a holiday, the Christmas and all that. And,
yes.
Not too much eating, not too much.
Oh, a lot of eating.
Well, you can't help it, I guess, if you got good cooks around you that are cooking whatever. So that's a good thing. So it's good.
It's good. We're back. We're back in a new year, a new season of Kickin'it.
So before we start,
go ahead.
So this is the disclaimer at the bottom. This episode will have probably lots of swearing, not because of, we want you to kick out your little children out of the room there, but oh, look at that. Paul's going to call it. He figures he's going to, get a letter from Disney. So tonight is going to be very, I won't say negative, but a lot of anger. Anger leads to suffering. Suffering leads to the dark side.
You're so right with that. I'm actually trying to figure out why the chat's not popping up here. There's always something. So keep talking. We'll find out what's going on with the chat.
Anyways, so basically, we're going to welcome some people here, some folks. Sir Sega, Jason, Pliskin's Run, Adam, Widow, Carl O. You forgot to mention me, Carl O. I exist too, Let's see here, Paul. Andy's Game Room, JLS Gaming down in Florida, and I think I saw your better half, Liliana. Let's see, who else we got? Stephen M. Andy's Game Room, unless I mentioned that already. Biggie D's, R-Cade, Ben Bauer. Who else we got here? Little doubles, Jeff D. Goofy Foot, again, Saved by Zero. So everybody's still rolling in. So yeah. So basically, welcome. We got an angry show tonight. Sorry to say that, but we've got a loaded gun, no pun intended. Glenn's going to talk about some Sinden stuff, partnership stuff there. But
there we go. Perfect timing, Stephen. It's fixed.
So it's fixed. So yeah. So basically, we've got a full platter tonight. We
That's
may
it.
even go over 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Hopefully not, but
the show was not going to be me on fire, and I'm on fire today. It was going to be had a couple things I wanted to talk about with all you guys. New Year's. Just talk about the holidays and New Year's. But you see some stupid people with making stupid comments and videos, and Glenn's on fire. So
okay.
we
So hold on,
yeah, shoot.
Before we but hold on. So people that are new to the show, tonight's format is not our traditional format. Usually we get a guest. We ask them about their childhood and all the cool stuff of retro. But tonight it's not that at all. So strap on, listen up, and
Oh,
have at it. There, Glenn.
Lou's all with it.
Swearing.
I'm
She's
here
here
for it. All right, so we're good. We got the approval. All right, so we're good.
Yeah. Lily approved. All
She
right.
did. So
Awesome.
awesome.
So
And,
what do
and
we talk
welcome and
about
again, really
first?
quickly. And honestly, we do joke around a lot on the show, and there is some tongue in cheek here, but I'm also am a little annoyed, and we'll get into all that. But I do want to say, I do hope, first of all, you guys did have a good New Year's, a good holiday. You had spent some
Yeah,
time with
for sure.
family and friends, and here we are on our habit trail of life, starting a new year. What have been the fifth day of the new year? We have a lot of days to go to the next new year, right? So, but
A few
23
more
went pretty
episodes
quick.
left.
23
Yep.
went pretty quick, and we're on our way to 100 episodes. We're at what, 86 today?
86 tonight. Yeah.
Right. Who the hell would have thought?
86. I never would have thought. Me and Glenn had this bright idea of doing this show, and we were like, "Hey, let's see how it goes." And sure, and here we are, 86 episodes later. Strap on, yeah. Go
No,
get the strap on.
no, no.
JLS, maybe want to run a little bit or get the lube, one or the other.
So one thing I want to talk. Let's get a couple things out of the way here, and we'll move on. So one thing I wanted to talk about real quick was just R-Cade. So next Friday, I'm gonna have the developer of R-Cade, which is like Emulation Station. They make it for a number of systems, but they are making it for the Viper, and I would say it's probably the operating system and emulator that is the most efficient, most streamlined. It gives best performance. So we're going to talk to them a little bit next week, and it does more than the Viper. Obviously, it runs on other systems. It does video playback. Does lots of things. But we're going to talk to them next week. And thank you for supporting the Viper. Really do appreciate it.
And people that don't know what the Viper is, it's a
What?
single board computer.
How does anyone not know at this point?
Nah, you never know. We got some new folks maybe coming on tonight. One of our guests that's going to be here in about 3 weeks said he was joining in. I don't know if he's here watching, but hey, a Viper is a single board computer that does a bunch of cool stuff. So it's like a Raspberry Pi, sort of.
It is. Nothing
What
we're
I'm
going
going to talk about first. What?
Well, this
thing?
is something that I love the GameCube, and a lot of people didn't like the GameCube when it came out, but I actually really did enjoy the GameCube from day one. I really did, and I saw this coming out this past week. I saw it on was it Nacho Macho?
Nacho Productions.
Right. I saw on this channel.
Tito,
correct. And this is a optical drive. Was it OED? Is that what they call them? Optical drive emulator.
ODE. ODE.
But what's really cool about this one is that when you put it in, it doesn't disable the actual optical drive. You can still use your optical drive, or you can load an SD card, and they have software that actually integrates into the GameCube's normal environment. And the best part is,
it looks great.
This thing's only $38 US. I'm not sure it'll be Canadian.
Well, let's say 50.
Only $38. No soldering. It's just remove 4 screws, drop this little bad boy in, and
it's the cable that looks a little weird that you have to
there's an
origami a little bit
thing, origami. But if you can't do that, I mean, come on, you should be able to do some origami.
Well, that's the thing. You got to sort of bend this ribbon cable, I guess, and then shove it into the connector, and then plug it into this thing. It doesn't look that bad, but it's just I could see people folding it this way, and they're flying it the other way.
Well, being someone,
but it does look interesting.
Being someone who sells things, I could definitely say I've seen people do some strange things. Be like, how did you do that? How did you get the frank above the beans? How'd you get the frank above the beans? How'd you do that?
Yeah.
So I've seen that.
This looks really cool, though. It looks promising, and
it really does. And the price point, $38, I think, is beyond reasonable for what it does. No soldering. Pretty much as long as you can take 4 screws off, the GameCube comes apart fairly easily. And if you go over to Tito, Macho Nacho Productions, you can see we just posted this video a couple of days ago.
Today, actually.
Actually, 2 days ago. So 2 days ago.
Okay. I
But
missed it.
if you like the GameCube, you have the GameCube. This is, I think, pretty amazing, and it's just starting out. I mean, it's got a Bluetooth chip in it and Wi-Fi, so you can probably use Bluetooth controllers with it in the future. All these cool different things coming out, and again,
I
I
just
think it's
want to
fairly
see the
inexpensive.
performance on the SD card. That's my main concern is to if it's like the optical drive, I don't know what the throughput is on that bus, but this, if it's the same or better, hey, even better. It's awesome.
Well, there's always a downside. There is one downside right now, and that's the SD card. You have to put it
You have
in,
to,
and
yeah,
you're closing the machine. So you got to take the whole machine apart to do it. Now, you can easily go on Amazon or
get an
eBay and
extender.
get an
And,
extender. I mean, it's not really a big deal, but
yeah,
it's just not there from the get go.
it's going to dangle off the back,
Right.
basically.
It's just
So
like when you think of all the incredible things that they did to make this thing so small and cheap. That's one thing that kind of.
JLS is asking what website to get this on. I think if you do a Flippy
Oh,
Drive, I think it's
actually,
called.
hold on. I actually have, believe it or not, I actually have the website right over here. Just give me 1 second. I'll
Glenn's
pull it
going
right
to
up.
paste it in the chat, right?
Here it is right here, and I will
Paste
paste.
it in the chat.
It's just
Yeah.
flippydrive.com, but I will put that in the chat. See, we're starting the show off on a good note.
Hopefully they send us one for free
$38. I'll buy
advertise
two.
this.
I don't even send them for free. I'll pay for it. It's so damn cheap.
For review
you know what?
purposes, you and I could do a show about it.
For $38, I'll pay the $38. The guys are not. Again, I highly doubt these guys are making like a dime between all
No,
the
it's a bunch of
production
guys in
costs.
their mom's basement, or
Right.
maybe not their mom's
Well,
basement, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
potentially.
Homebrew.
But again, just the fact that we're keeping these systems alive. If your optical drive works, mine still works.
Yeah,
you got it.
same
But
here.
if it goes bad, you have a backup. And I actually do have the older version, which was you go on the bottom of the serial port in the bottom.
I've got
connect-
that too.
Right.
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, it works. It's a little clunky, but it works. This just looks a little more elegant. And I definitely want to support these guys. So that's a
Oh, yeah, for
floppy
sure.
drive. Flippy drive. Floppy drive.
Flippy Drive.
Flippy drive.
Flippy.
Flip it
I
off.
mean that I saw that this week too, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So glad we're talking about it on the show. So
We
go
are.
check it out. We'll keep an eye on it. That's about
Shameless.
the only
Well,
thing we're gonna do.
you know what? I want to support them. I am going to definitely buy one. I want to support them that way. I don't actually look for people to send me stuff. If they do, great. But I definitely go out and still buy things as well.
Oh yeah, same here. I just like, hey, promotion, whatever.
Now, being that you guys are the best people in the chat group and you guys have been loyal to me and everything, I really appreciate it. I'm going to give you guys a little insight into the iArcade Viper switcher mechanism. So here's a little video I'm going to bring up right now. So here is our production studio, and here is the iArcade, and you can see the other gateway switches working. And there's Bobby Vu's Viper image. I think that was a 2 terabyte image that he made for the Viper. And you can see we have the gate switches, which is red on the left, and the green right now, and then blue is switching from Viper back to iArcade. Now, I'm going to keep showing this video here because I don't know what iArcade did. It's a well-known thing that they did not properly enable the HDMI port on the back. So you can see right now, it kind of cropped. Sometimes it works fine. Sometimes it crops. The only way to fix that is you have to reboot your iArcade. We're trying to see if there's another solution, but I've talked to Mystery Encoder. I've talked to those guys. I've talked to just about everyone under the sun. And it just seems like they didn't properly, kind of like with the Phoenix board that you had, Steven. They didn't properly enable the external HDMI, and so there's some issues. So worst case scenario, you may have to reboot, and I don't want to keep it a secret. I'm letting you guys know. You may have to reboot to get the screen going back to full screen. You can see it's coming up here on the reboot. It comes back full screen. But that is something that unless we get some assistance from like Team Encoder, some guys who can look in the kernel of the iArcade board, we may not be able to fix that. Worst case scenario, we have to reboot the iArcade. But you can see the switching mechanism back and forth, the controllers, the speakers, everything switches back and forth. But unfortunately, sometimes the iArcade's HDMI port does its own thing. And see it right here, Sir Sega. My HDMI port never worked. My gold, neither does mine on my gold. I thought it was maybe mine, but maybe it's just a fault on the 300 gold cabinets that are out there. Was this Carlo? The solution is just trash. You can do that too. To be honest, when you see Bobby Vu, he's working on that build. He's been working crazy hours trying to optimize it and do all kinds of things with it. There's other teams as well working on builds, but Bobby Vu's already got, I think he's got a 50, 1.5, and a 2 terabyte build already for the Viper. So I'm really thankful
Wow.
to Bobby Vu on that. So that is the switcher. We're still, it would have been a little further along, but we've been trying to really fix that HDMI issue on the back. But it's looking like unless someone knows the internal coding, like Team Encoder or one of those guys. And I already talked to Team Encoder, and they're like, there's something jacked in there. They can't figure it out either. So that, unfortunately, may have to stay with the switcher on that.
Nah, that sucks.
Now, before I get on to the main event,
The main event.
the main event of tonight, because I consider Kathleen Kennedy and the whole thing crooks because they're stealing an IP and destroying it. Here's another crook. So this was actually tonight. It just came tonight. Sometimes you get stuff returned from Amazon. It happens. You know, I'm no different. So I got this back. It's my trackball and spinner combo, but that's not what was in the box. This fucktard, and I'm going to use the word fucktard, these guys buy the stuff, which is already incredibly cheap. They take their broken, jacked up crap, put it in my box, send it back to me, costing me money, which already is nothing on these already. And these guys return it, think it's like some big business like that matters. And he's sending me his crap from his machine, and he stole from me. So when you guys are like, this is, you know, the Sinden gun, it's a little expensive, it's $250. This is driving up costs. Drives up costs to be in the warehouse, and this is theft.
Is there a name on there?
It's not. It only goes to Amazon. So we take this information.
There's no name on the thing that
we
says,
take that,
hey,
that information. We have to go to Amazon. Amazon goes, we're a $1 billion company. We can give a fuck. They don't care. And so we're out that money. So I'm just showcasing. Maybe we'll do a little skit of Jerkweed of the month. And whoever this guy is, F you, Mr. Jerkweed of the month. The trackball spinner combo was already an expensive thing.
They just figure it's a big franchise,
But it's not even right then. It's not even right. Stealing is stealing.
No, I meant like in his brain, he probably thinks that, oh, these guys have, you know, give us his address. They're gonna go up there.
I wish I had it. I talked to Cole because I said, I find you the guy's house. I would go to his house because that's, you know, you're a criminal. You are a criminal, sir.
Strangle him with the cord that he left in there.
Like, all right. So I'm going to take a minute. We're going to breathe.
Unaliveness.
Sorry. Yes. So, Stephen, anything coming up in the chat because I'm just on fire tonight.
Sorry. I've got that Greta, whatever the hell her name is, that her saying, "How dare you?" I say that to everybody now.
All right. So, no, but I just think still on the screen. I thought I took
dust for fingerprints. Yeah. We've got a whole investigative team there in the chat.
Well, like I said, you know, Amazon being the company that it is, you know, when someone sends something back, they can just send it back. Amazon doesn't care. They give them a refund, and they don't care. And I'm not the only person to say this. Other people selling Amazon have the same problem.
Problem. You know, yeah.
If I can prove to you these, or you guys didn't even check, it should go to Amazon warehouse, which it does. It goes to them first, and then they ship it to us. Open the damn box. Look what's in the box. If it's rocks,
compare it.
I've gotten rocks before. I've gotten dirt before. I've gotten a box of, like, you know, busted up plastic. Look in the box. And if you see something like that in the box, guess what? Don't issue the refund. I'm sorry.
It takes too many man hours to do that, apparently. So
it just gets under my skin.
It's sad. It's sad.
Okay, so we did one other thing. Let's go now we're going negative. Let's go back to positive. So not only
that's what we can do. We'll do positive.
We'll
negative,
do that.
Positive.
So
negative,
not only did I have
a bad battery,
this jerkweed, you know, send this back and think
that's
it's all
negative.
Cool.
Move on.
Right. So something else came today. Something else came today, and literally, it is literally still in the boxes. Now, one of the reasons
I know what it is. I know what it is.
This has to come in 2 separate boxes. And I'll show you why. This has to come. We cannot ship this
Your
as a
replacement wooden leg. That's
right.
what's in there.
That's right. So inside this box, it's kind of dark in here, but you can see I have some nice felt. It's a very nice felt. It feels really, really nice. But what is in here?
Elvis had.
What is in here is the first box you will receive is your nice stock right here. That's beautiful. So the one I've had all this time was a pre-production unit. This is a final production unit with a proper coating on here for the wood on the back. So this comes in again. It comes in the box, but the box is not just foam. We got some nice black velvet
Wow.
felt in there. So that's box number 1. And again, we have to ship it in 2 boxes
Enough to make a grown man
because
cry.
even though it is a light gun, it looks too much like a gun, and they will not ship it. So inside our second box, we again have our nice velvet top, like so. But inside, you will see a full production unit, Sinden Target Pro, aka the boomstick. So this
And
is
I'm
a fully
still
functional
mad
unit.
that they didn't call it the boomstick.
I know, and we do include. You have a green top for player 2. We have the orange top on there, but tops both come off. You can leave no tops on if you want. But I'll do a video of this, of putting this one together. This is a full production unit, and I'm trying to get it in the camera. Hopefully you can see that okay. But this will work with, obviously, the Viper. It'll work with the Raspberry Pi. It works with a PC. It works with anything Sinden does, including this will work with the big buck hunters. So if you have those little cheap plastic guns in your big buck hunter, well, you can get the GRS Sinden Target Pro, aka boomstick.
How could they tell that's a real gun? The barrel is the
I
size
don't
of
know,
a friggin'
but they
the
will.
size of a small drain pipe.
You know what? I like what he said here. I like what Paul put here. Paul's on roll today. We could put it in discreet packaging. Maybe I put some. Well, we do sell thunder sticks. Maybe if I put some dildos in the box around the gun, maybe that would be okay. I don't know. Today's
Maybe
the
they
day
won't return
it's
them.
be potty mouth night because we're just warming up for what coming into the main event. So potty mouth
Usually a
is coming on
PG
tonight.
show, but tonight it's a little bit more.
And
you know,
Biggie D, I totally get it. It's $250. We are still trying to get the price down, but unfortunately, like I said, we have to ship it in 2 separate boxes, so it's double the packaging, double the shipping, double stuff from the warehouse. But we are trying to get the price down. I agree, but when I tell
think
you,
the light guns you have to put them separate in a sense because of the laws in different countries. I think.
Biggie, if anyone has held the gun, you could tell the gun is a solid gun. Again, I know 250 is a large investment, but the quality is there. And if there's any way, shape, or form I can get the price down from there, I will try and do that. But at this point in time, have to double box, double ship, all this other extra work we need to do, it just the price just went up, and we are still not making barely anything on that, even at the 250 right now.
Brad D says he's paid more for less. So
there we go. Well, yep, okay. Here we go. Boom. Pink. He did.
Yeah, a lot of us have paid more for less.
See, if someone could find this clown, I don't want to say that because I don't know. Something happens to this clown, I'm going to be
the internet can be pretty crafty. They'll probably look at that trackball and they'll zoom in the 4K footage or whatever and get the prints off of there. They'll track them down. I've seen the internet do crazy stuff before. Wouldn't put it past our awesome chat room, I'll tell you that.
That's it. See, Biggie D had the gun in his hand, so he knows, and that was a prototype. That's not even that wasn't the final product. So it's the gun itself is actually better, material-wise and everything, than what you used at the show. And again, if I can get the really think of it this way, when I'm going to say it now, John D's gone. The Star Wars flight yoke, when I came out with that one, it was going for $250. We knocked it down to $199, and when it's on sale, you can get it for like $130 on sale. So if we can do anything, we will. But right now, I'm telling you, we're getting it out there. But that's the best price we can definitely do at this point.
Cool. So now
okay,
what? We get angry now. We get
here's the thing.
Stuff.
Let's not go to this.
You won't like Glenn when he's angry.
Yeah, let's go on to talk some Star Wars. Okay, let's talk some Star Wars.
The positive or the negative Star
Wars?
Well,
we have to. Well, unfortunately, unfortunately for me, Star Wars after Rogue One became a dead property for me. Rogue One, I liked it. It was okay.
Yeah, it was good.
But everything since has been a dead property, and I'm not saying getting a life anytime soon. But also the same with Star Trek. Star Trek kind of died with me with Enterprise. I'm not into the Kelvin timeline ones. I'm not into any of these stupid STD shows, and it is called
Strange
Star Trek
New Worlds
Discovery,
isn't
STD.
bad.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Strange New Worlds. Once again, The Enterprise went to Kirk not right after that show. The entire bridge crew are not only women, but one is Khan Lillian Singh's great-great-granddaughter. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Give me a break. So you
Data's
tell me the
creator
guy who
is
they're gonna find in Space Seed, who is like started World War III, the eugenics wars, his great-great-granddaughter's on the Enterprise before. Give me a fucking break. You guys can't write for nothing. This is gonna be a show that's gonna
they
be
got to
completely
go
like
digging a
X-rated, I think.
little, I thought Strange New Worlds was better. Let's just say
Well,
that.
it's better, but you know what? Is it fresh dog shit? Or is it dog shit so old that a fly won't touch it? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, exactly. We're not really talking about Star Trek. We're
No,
gonna
we're
dive
not.
into
We're
Star
not.
Wars.
So we're gonna
And
talk about. Hold on. I thought I had it on here before, and actually I didn't add it. So let me add this real
so it's
quick.
pertaining to the two individuals in the fiery pits of hell that was at the beginning of the live stream. If you missed it, Glenn can maybe throw it on somewhere. And those are
Right.
oh
Right.
God.
Anyway, I forgot to add
She's covering
this winner right there. So we're gonna be
this winner.
talking some Star Wars here,
My
and
wife hates
here's my thing. I really was hopeful after the way Disney's been going down the toilet. I mean,
exactly.
The Marvels made $3.55. I mean, they made nothing. Wish made nothing. Their movies of late have made nothing. And Kathleen Kennedy, with the last movie they did, which was the last Indiana Jones film, didn't make back
Tanked.
anything close to what it was needed to make.
It
So
tanked.
I figured finally the writing. I don't know what this. She's got to have something on every exec at Disney. She has got some backyard
Probably.
film of I don't know Bob
She's not
Eisner
on that.
and two gerbils and a habit trail in his room.
Glenn, I know what it is. You know that Eppenstein list that came out? She's not on it, and everybody above her probably is, and she's going, ha ha ha! I've got you guys now. Probably. So that's my guess of the whole thing.
Here's the thing. I don't know if you guys watch the other YouTubers. There's Thor Skywalker. I very much enjoy Thor Skywalker's content. Of course, I've been watching Doomcock since he started like
and
a year
Star
and a
Wars
half
Theory,
ago.
I've been watching
Star Wars
him
Theory.
a little bit.
I
He's
watched all
covered
those
some of
channels.
this too. He's
I watched
covered
all
some
those
of this
channels.
too,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he's not too fond of it
And even
either.
Star Wars Theory. He finally had enough of Kathleen Kennedy. She's like, she's got to go. She's
Oh
gotta
yeah,
go.
and he's got millions of subscribers. Like he's got a super large audience. I can't even imagine them not listening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't. I don't know.
And it's funny, we haven't gotten to the point of the thing. I'm still talking about Kennedy.
Yeah,
We haven't gotten to what we're going to talk about yet.
Okay, so let's talk about what the crux is. Is that you want me to introduce
not
it?
Not yet. So I want to set the stage. Okay. Now I also have to blame George Lucas to a degree, because George Lucas handpicked this turd muffin over here to run his company. And I want you to listen to an interview that she had given. I want you guys to listen to this interview because I didn't know this particular interview, but when I heard it, I'm like, what the F were you thinking, Lucas? So listen to this interview here. If I could, I got to find it. Because I moved everything around. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2.
Are you always a Star Wars fan?
I was a Star Wars fan in the fact that I had already decided to become a film major in college when the movie came out. And there's no question that it was a groundbreaking movie. I mean, what George Lucas created right from the moment New Hope was released, I think anybody and everybody, certainly that was studying film like I was, recognized that he had created something that was a complete and total game changer in the way that we tell stories.
Okay, so she was not even a friggin' fan of the franchise. She was just a fan enamored that, hey, the guy made a great movie. I got to go work for him and do that type of stuff. She's got
it's called riding coattails, Glenn.
Yeah, exactly. She has no love for episodes 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3. None. She's in this for one reason alone, to push a bullshit agenda, to take a property to push what she wants. So, again, I thought after all this time, I thought finally
she was on her way out the door.
Out her door.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, good, she's leaving. Nope. It's like, what the hell?
So, And then you were telling me before, all the stuff kind of happened with Disney. Disney was bleeding money, and they started firing all the writers. They started getting rid of all these people.
Probably the people that actually give a shit about the
Right.
whole thing.
Right. So, but the thing is, sometimes when a dog shits in a spot, other dogs sniff in that spot, they got to take a shit in that same spot. And that's what we got here. And again, I apologize. This is not normal how I like to talk, but this lady and this whole thing has got me livid.
So now her being reeled back is really upsetting.
So here's now, I have nothing against what's her name? Ridley. I don't know her name. One who plays
Daisy Ridley.
Thank you.
Daisy Ridley.
To me, she's nothing. I don't care less. She's forgettable.
You know what?
The character's
she's acting.
forgettable.
She's doing a job, dude. That's all it is.
It's not her. But
she's doing a job.
Moron 1, Kennedy, and Moron 2 next to her in the blue. Dipshit 1,
with
Dipshit 2.
Pinky looking hat.
Right. So
I don't know.
apparently this woman only has done documentaries. She's not a filmer. She didn't even go to film school. She admits she never even went to film school. She likes to tell stories.
She just likes to make men feel uncomfortable, right?
We're going to get there. Don't you worry.
We're getting there.
We're going to get there. So, I don't know where to start with this one. Is this it here? Let's see. I got rid of Kennedy's underwear. Bang. Yeah, we got it. Let's move.
You got to get rid of
I got to move her over a little bit. Let's just, because now she's smaller fry. We know what you've done, Kennedy. You just go down here and you sit down there and you be in the corner. Move her to the prime spot.
And be quiet.
And be quiet. So, one of the comments that this director made, again, was just stupid. So,
and this is we got to preface this before Glenn says the whole thing. If a guy would have said this,
not this. I'm not there yet. We're not even there yet.
Oh no, he will. But let's just say the comments. You're kind of like, what in the world? It's kind of like the whole Snow White thing all over again.
Well,
like,
this director, just like Kathleen Kennedy, who knows nothing about Star Wars, just wanted to work with George Lucas because she knew he made like one of the biggest movies of all time. She wanted to be part of that. That was it. This lady, I feel what we're about to create is something very special. We're in 2024 now, and it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape a story in a galaxy far, far away. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's the problem right there. I'm going to tell you why. Whenever they say that, it's not about actually creating a good story. It's about an agenda at that point. People should be hired on the merit of doing their job properly. So if she's a good director, hey, if it's a woman or a guy, who cares? A good director or a good actor or a good whatever. This, as soon as he gets, it's about time a woman. What? What if some guy was head of some girl like Avon? It's about time a guy was head of Avon or something. Or whatever.
With this comment you put here, though, she's degrading other women with it because there's already been women directors of the Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, look at Wonder Woman.
show.
The first Wonder Woman was a female director.
No, I know.
Knocked it out of
But
the
she's
park.
talking about Star Wars. I get that. She's talking about
No,
Star
I know,
Wars.
but like in general,
In Star Wars alone, the Mandalorian episodes, women directed that. The Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, which I didn't like anyway, woman directed that as well. So she's, first of all, not the first one. There was other ones as well. So first of all, she doesn't know enough about even the backstory of other directors.
Yeah,
and she's making a comment like this.
Yep.
So she's not only putting down men, because again, like Steven said, men, women, it doesn't matter. It should be what you do, how well you do it, your story, and so forth. This thing about men versus women, people are saying
it's a war that's happening all
it's
over again.
ridiculous.
You and I talked about this before the
It's
show.
ridiculous, okay? Because
it's a war of the sexes.
People should be treated on their own merits. It shouldn't be, well, you're a man, I'm a woman, I get this. That was the whole problem back in the day. And if people want equal rights, it has to be equal rights. So that comment I find extremely offensive right there. But I haven't gotten to the really offensive one yet.
I'm going to tell you something. Replace the word woman with anything else. A man, person of color. It wouldn't even fly with those other nouns, I guess we'll call it. I don't know my English my English wording here, but basically replace that with person of color, a man, whatever. You know, it, it you can't say that. You know what I mean? Like it's just stupid.
Well, but
I-
it gets me. She is a sexist, racist, bigot, in my opinion. I haven't gotten to the part that's really good yet.
Oh yeah. This
That
gets
this is
juicy,
this
guys.
is really gonna
Yeah,
get
if
me
you
going.
guys don't know, it gets juicy.
Right. So, she was on a talk show, and well, let's see. Let's go bring up this comment here. I gotta get these other pictures out of the way because I think they're gonna be in the way of. If I can find it now. Cool. Okay. So this was an interview that was done, and this I find extremely offensive. Take a listen.
This is happening now. And so you are watching the lessons of, and it's a dramatization of the lessons of it. As an activist and an artist, do you make that calculation? Who is my target? You talked a little bit about, I want women to watch this, and I want them to feel empowered, and I want my daughter to have heroes. I couldn't help but notice a thread through each of these, that the men were assholes. And I'm wondering, as one of them, what is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure? And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable. Not you, just not you.
Just listen to that for a second. She likes to make men uncomfortable. Now, as a man, if I was to have said something like that, I would have been chastised as trolling,
Oh yeah.
masochist,
Oh yeah, dude.
everything under the sun. If a man ever said something like that, that would not fly. But it's okay
Oh,
for
no.
her to say something like that, which I find extremely offensive, because why would you want to make me feel uncomfortable? Why am I going to go to see a movie to be
Glenn,
made
this show is
felt
already
uncomfortable?
skewed to begin with. It's called Women in the World, like, and it's hosted by a guy. Like, what's the logic
Well,
here
and
exactly?
you know, he rolled over like a dog. He rolled over
Oh,
like
yeah.
a dog already. So let's continue with this. Let's continue.
Yeah, cool.
Not you.
Point taken, point taken.
But, you know, it is important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable because you need to change your attitude. And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have difficult conversations, that you will perhaps look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection, and then say, maybe there is something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way I am addressing this issue.
What the hell is she talking about? What does that have anything to do with anything? Okay. Again, if I was a man on that stage saying, I want to make women uncomfortable when they go to this, I want to make them feel they should be ashamed, all those things. What would happen if I had said something in that fashion? Why is it okay
Just
for
replace
her to say something like that?
Just replace the word men that comes out of her mouth, or and replace it with women. The whole thing would be turned on its head. You'd be, the problem is they don't see it as her being a bigot or whatever, right? So it's like, what the, like, it doesn't make sense. Our world is, I won't say our world's broken, but how does a person like that go on a stage, spew out that garbage, and get away with it? It's beyond my comprehension.
Well,
Because if you would have reversed the roles, equality, man, if you would have reversed, oh my God.
Well,
What if I made
here's the thing.
documentaries that made women uncomfortable?
Right.
Holy crap.
Well, here's the thing too. Again,
Like,
they're taking Star Wars. It's a known property. It's a fantasy, right? It's supposed to be go to the show, and you sit down and you just forget your own things and you enjoy the spectacle. You enjoy a lightsaber battle. You enjoy
Yeah.
seeing magical things happen.
Yeah,
What the
that's
hell
what
does
it's all
she have
about.
to do and put this in a show? Which again, they've already did that with the last 3. They made Luke. They totally destroyed his character. Why would I want to go see something like that? Star Wars, I'm sorry to say it, men and women like it as it was. Men
Yeah.
watched it, women watched it. Okay, I don't
And they
understand why it has to
adored it.
be that now women have to do all this stuff and it's got more women centric and men have done it for too long. What are you talking about? If you want to make a show like that, take
Go
some
make your own.
characters, make your own.
No, they
Why
can't.
do you got to destroy
That's
what's
the
there?
problem. These people can't. They're incapable. You know who I feel sorry for in this whole thing is Daisy Ridley. She's getting dragged through the mud for this whole
Agreed.
thing.
Yep.
And then she's gonna in 20 years from now going, what the hell was I around these women for? You're like, why did you're guilty by association, and this is it, in a sense. You know what I mean? And then she's gonna get dragged through the mud with this when shit hits the fan about this whole thing, and it's sad. It's really sad. Because I don't think that person's going to make a better Star Wars movie.
Well,
I really
and
don't
here's
think.
the next thing I have to talk about, right? And I do understand a certain point. You know, little boys and little girls, probably little girls were treated different than boys when we were growing up. Definitely, they were. When I grew up, girls were girls and guys were guys. That's how it was. But
Yeah.
now think about today. Why? Because I think the thing that women are trying to compensate for is that when we were little girls, we couldn't do A, B, and C, but boys were allowed to do all these things. Okay, I get it, and I'm sorry. But does that mean now you take the little boys and you rub their face in the crap because they're boys now? You
have to have
torture them
history
for
repeat
that
itself.
reason, rather than making it equal, rather than just making something both can go to enjoy. You need to make something where men will have to squirm and feel shitty about themselves watching this film. Why would you do that? Boys have
It's
feelings.
narcissistic, dude.
Well,
It's
here's the
totally
thing too.
narcissistic.
Women think they have all the emotions, they have all the feelings. Men have none. Guys have feelings, right? Guys feel too. I'm sorry, they do. I see little boys cry. I'll cry. I cry plenty of times. I feel pain just like anyone else. We're no different as far as that goes. So if you're going to sit there and say, as a woman, this is how I should be treated, why do you feel you have the right to treat men in such a way that's so crappy?
Did you see her face when she was telling all this? It had this kind of like kind of evil looking smirk on her face, and I'm like, oh man, she's blinded by fame here because she's on a show all of a sudden, and probably last week she didn't have any money. You know what I mean? It's sad. It's really sad. Where did this person even come from? Like, okay, so let me put a context for you, Glenn. Let's say they're trying to sell Star Wars to anybody. Usually they'll go, hey, so and so directed this movie, and they're gonna direct this movie now. You know what I'm saying? Sort of a previous thing. You know what I mean? Like a resume. Men have muscles. Yes, we know.
Yeah. Well. Again.
No, but hear me out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
No, but hear me out. So basically, directors, at least guy directors, you'd be like, hey, this person did this movie, like James Cameron did Aliens, and now he's doing Terminator, and they announced that. And at least you go, hey, he did that movie, and it does the same thing for girls. She did that movie. Where'd this person even come from? If they're going to try to sell it to somebody, Star Wars is big shoes to fill. You don't get some unknown person just out of the woodwork. And I don't know.
Well, I guess
I have no confidence in this.
That's definitely a point. What gets me more is I'm a decent person. I try and treat
No, you're not.
everyone.
You say that, but
I
you're
know.
not.
I try and treat everyone with respect. I fight for people. I'm not Superman, but no, I fight for people and people in the chat. I love everyone in the chat group here, men, women. It doesn't matter if you're.
Glenn will go to your house and shovel your driveway if you ask him.
So it gets me. It gets me when
know.
someone is in a position in a property of Star Wars to actually say that I want to make a film and men should cringe. They should do this, and that's why I want men to cringe. Why? Once again, if a woman went into the workplace and she felt that way, HR would be there in a second. HR would be firing people left and right. Why is it okay for a woman to say, I want to make you as a man cringe? I want to make you as a man feel that way. Why is that not only acceptable, the audience agreed and laughed? So what does that say for women's rights that they want to do something like that? Where is the rightness in that?
Dude, everybody that was there is in the same brainwave as those 3 girls up there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like going to, you know, a rally that basically everybody's worshiping a false god kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like everybody's drinking the same Kool-Aid over there is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So you're not going to change somebody's mind that's over there. So it's like,
You're not.
I don't,
You're
I
not.
don't
But I
understand how
don't. The
come they
point
want to
is,
destroy this
I
thing.
don't know why someone has to actually lash out and say, "I need to make you feel bad."
Go
What
make
did
horror
we
movies instead.
do to
Bye-bye.
do it? Now, everyone had something in the past where something happened. I was bullied as a kid. I was a fat kid at the time. That happens in life. That doesn't mean when you get an adult, you don't say, "You know what? Yeah, it did happen
I'm
as
on
a
a
kid,
revenge.
but I'm a better person now." And
Yeah,
you don't do that to
exactly.
other people. And she is going to
Exactly.
make this movie and make sure that half or even greater, because to be honest, again, just go by ticket sales. Generally, it's more men. They're trying to have women go. Some do. They enjoy it. But men are generally the ones who go see this
It's
film.
science fiction. At the end of the day, it's science fiction. If you want to make men cringe, like I said earlier, go make a horror movie or some weird porno, and that's it. Because just go do something else. Because I've said this on the show, and you've said it many times. Don't fuck with Star Wars. There's a roadmap to follow. Try to follow it as best as you can. Come up with new stories, but there is a box. You have to stay within that box to some level. Making men cringe, I don't think is in there. you know, because if you look at the original trilogy, even the prequels, they do not make any sex cringe. So why would this be okay now all of a sudden?
Well, here's the
Because
thing.
this woman said it. You know what I mean?
Carlo
Like,
is saying Disney will learn after losing billions. They've already lost billions. They have lost billions. People aren't going to the parks. People are not going to Galaxy's Edge. People weren't going to that hotel that was like what,
they
six
still
thousand
don't learn,
dollars a
dude.
night. You know,
Carlo, I'm sorry, but they just won't get it. They're like somebody said, drunk with power. They're so infatuated by making all this money, they think they're never going to lose it. You know what I mean? And that's the problem.
well,
It's
here's the
money
thing too.
talks,
Chris Ford
but
just trying to make it look like men are obsolete. But the first time there is, I don't know, a spider on the floor, or they need a building patched, or they need some sheetrock.
or
Who are they going
you
to
and I
call?
talked about what if your sewer blocks? Who's going to crawl into 20 feet of crap to go unblock
Right.
your
Then
sewer?
it's okay. Then it's okay. Oh, I'm a woman. I know people already like that. I'm a woman. I do everything you. But when there's manual labor involved, well, I'm a girl. You
Well,
find
go
2
do it
seconds to
then.
go with everything else, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden you're a
go do it
girl.
then.
First of
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
as a girl, I've seen what you bench press. You can take me out. So don't be saying
Yeah,
you can't do that.
exactly. But in the end, everybody's got their place, in my opinion. Like we were built men to be stronger physically. That's the reality of it. Now, it's not for everybody, but generally speaking, that's how it is. If we can change it, fine. But if we're, I don't think this person's going to fly.
Well, after all the backlash that's happening now, I hope it
Yeah, Twisted
continues,
Gaming for
and
sure.
they take her off the project, and she loses it because I think everything she said is extremely. Hey, this is what they use it.
Yeah.
Offensive. People get offended. I'm offended. I think what she came out of her mouth was extremely offensive, and she should be removed.
It's no better than that. That, like I said before, the Snow White girl, the little girl. I expect that out of a young girl to say garbage like that. But this is somewhat of a grown woman here. What the hell? Like, you know what I mean? It's just sad. I don't know. I just don't. People are just saying whatever they want, and there's
But you know what?
no
You know what?
consequences.
They do have a right to say certain things. Absolutely, absolutely. You have
Oh
freedom of
yeah, but
speech. You do. But if you're going to be making a multi 10 million, 100 million, or $1 billion movie that's being shown around the world, I think you might want to put a little care into the message. And already putting a message in there of bigotry against men who made the franchise what it is. I'm sorry.
yeah. It's a slippery slope. So, hey, we're like 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes till the show's over. Let's talk about the positive thing. Let's give this person the middle finger. And,
Let me get this jerk ass off my screen then.
yeah. We got 10 minutes. So, as much as I'd love to go on about all night about that dumbass, I would prefer that we talk about the positive thing that, guess what? Disney or Lucasfilm didn't even make. And it came out, how long ago? It's got millions of views, this thing. Hold on. Let me
While you're doing
bring it
that,
up.
I want to apologize for the language I did today. I used a lot of colorful words today, big words. I am sorry. But it really gets me when these people are out there thinking they're better than you. And that's what she's saying. She's saying she's better than you, and she's going to make you feel bad for it. And she's not
Yeah.
better than you. You
Better than
guys are
anybody.
no different. Well, she's actually better than her because she's a piece of garbage. So I apologize for the language I was using tonight. But that stuff really gets me when someone comes out there
Ah.
and it's that much of a bigot. I'm sorry.
It gets under my skin
It
too.
does.
So so let's talk about something positive about Star Wars. So this thing came out 6 days ago, and it's at 2.1 million views on YouTube, made by Hello There Productions. It's incredible, and basically, it's made by fans, not Lucasfilm. Do you have a clip of this thing, Glenn?
I can pull up one second real quick. Twisted Gaming, I really appreciate it, but we,
Oh, yeah,
didn't,
Super
we never
Chats,
asked for
yeah.
super chats, but he did. No, let's go on all night about the crazy.
Let's go on all night. Maybe we'll circle back towards the end of the top of the hour or something if we got time.
Do you have a link to that?
I do.
Just send it to me in the chat.
In Messenger, you want it there?
Yeah, that's fine.
There. It's basically called Clone Wars Battle of the Heroes. So those of you in the chat, go to YouTube, go type in Clone Wars Battle of the Heroes. Look at the link from a Hello There YouTube channel. They have 190,000 subscribers. This thing has 2.1 million views.
Okay, I'll bring it up for a little bit. I don't want to take away from these poor guys here, but just give me 1 second. I'll pull it up without.
So I'll sort of set it up here a little bit while you do that. So basically what these guys have done, they've taken the end of Revenge of the Sith, recreated it in the style of Clone Wars animation. It is unbelievable. All the dialogue is from the movie, but the whole thing looks like the Clone Wars. It's crazy. And I would have went to see a whole movie like this probably, you know what I mean? And this is done by fans. And I'm sure there was girls involved in this too. Like you know, it makes no difference is what I'm trying to say. Glenn and I, you know. Now we might not get demonetized because this is not Star Wars themselves, right?
Who cares?
Goofy Foot super chat. Embrace your hate, Glenn. Give in to its power. Thank you, Goofy Foot, for the super chat.
That made me smile. Thanks.
Leave it to Goofy Foot to go out with a bang. But you guys have to see this. This is the best. Like with all the crappy, shitty Star Wars news we got this week, this is 6 days ago. We got this, and it's a gift. It's
so
a total
this was
gift.
not done by Lucasfilm. This was done.
No, it's a fan film, completely,
film.
100%. Totally, you know, there's no woke in here. It's basically recreating the end of Revenge of the Sith in the style of Clone Wars. It's incredible. They even got the bendy looking lightsabers. They bend just like in Clone Wars. It's unbelievable.
See if we go through a little bit here.
2.1 million views. Holy crap.
Oh, here you go.
Get that a good crop there.
I could if I could find out where I have it in here. It's buried. Maybe I could pull up this one.
And they got some cool moves in there too, so it's
That one's a little bit better.
Chris Edwards. Star Trek is better. Well, we starting to think that now. And by the way, we've got Chris coming on the show in 3 weeks. We'll say 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yes.
So to preface, while you guys are watching this a little bit, Chris fixes Amigas and really cool guy. So he's going to talk about what he does and what he likes, and it's pretty cool. So check out his channel in the meantime.
Star Trek is better.
But this is really cool. If you're a Star Wars fan, it's amazing.
It looks pretty. I don't want to show too much of it because these guys worked. You guys, the link for the video is in the chat.
In the chat, yeah.
You know, let's take a look at that. But
It's
it does look pretty
incredible.
good.
It is incredible. It is. It's worth a watch, and I thank them for putting out something so positive in the crappy, shitty Star Wars climate that we have right now. So it's So yeah. So anyways, we could go back to hating if you want.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my blood pressure down. You know,
Well,
I
you've got a little alcohol there on the side, so
I
just
do,
keep
but
drinking and
that's trying to calm me down. It's just it really gets under my skin when they talk like that, like, you know, every man in the world has done something against every woman in the world, and it's not the case. I am sorry if she had a bad experience, but you know what? As a human being,
she was probably
we've all had
beaten or
bad experiences in
something.
life.
I don't know.
You get over it. You get over it.
It's not just that. Everybody goes through something, whether it's bullying, whether it's abuse, whatever. There's something. Everybody's got a story, and that should be respected versus putting out the hate out there like this
Right.
poor woman.
And if you want to make a movie about hating men, make a movie about hating men. Doesn't
You'll
belong
make
in Star Wars.
$0.
No, they may make money, but it doesn't belong in Star Wars. It's got nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yeah, sure. Maybe there's a planet that hated men, and they were all there, and then the Emperor blew it up. Maybe I don't know. Just saying. Like, think about it. The Emperor blew up a planet of women that hate men.
Well, you know, again, now that you're pulling me back in, Steven. You're pulling me back
We're
in.
cranking it up again.
You know, when you look at all these other new Star Wars films, whenever they take a woman, she's generally is perfect from the get-go. They can't do wrong. Hell, they get impaled with lightsabers. Normally, you get hit with a lightsaber, you're dead. You're dead.
Oh yeah,
It's a lightsaber.
for sure.
Not women. They get stabbed. And then 10 minutes later, they're fighting again.
In the hospital, and
I mean,
they're back
come
on their feet after.
Yeah, you know, and Twisted Gaming, you know, too. You know, people have bad experiences. It's not against everyone.
With all sexes,
Right.
you know. Like, I mean, I know people that are trans and had problems with another trans person. People are people.
Right.
You know, it's that simple. It's like, frig, guys. Paul, make another Wonder Woman 84. Yeah.
You know, the first Wonder Woman film wasn't terrible.
It was
wasn't
awesome.
great. It wasn't. I didn't think it was
awesome. I
great.
liked
It
it.
was okay. It was okay. But
It was better than the other shit that was
84.
out there.
Yeah, 84 was bad. I didn't even bother. I don't think anyone has anyone gone to see Aquaman. I don't know. Has anyone
I haven't
seen it?
seen it. I didn't bother.
Did anyone in the chat? Did any one of you go see Aquaman? Anyone?
The
I
new
don't
one,
think
not
you
the
did.
original one.
No, the new one.
The new one that came out, what, a couple weeks ago or whatever, a couple weeks. I don't know.
Yeah. So far, I'm not. The chat's not lighting up. I'm saying I saw Aquaman.
Crickets. You
Yep.
got a cricket sound?
I
bud?
do. I do.
Put it.
Where'd it go? Oh, I swear over here. Ah. There we go.
There you go. Nobody saw it. See?
Nope.
It's unanimous almost that nobody saw it. Aquaman. It's insane. I don't know, dude. I think what's happening is they're cranking out these
Oh.
stupid movies too much, too
Well,
fast.
speak of
and
stupid
people
movies.
just want.
Speak of stupid
Oh.
movies. I still have not found a theater that plays Godzilla -1. Have you
No?
see it?
Well, that's not stupid. That's
No, that's what I'm
supposed to be
saying.
good.
So I'm trying to go back on the good part.
Stupid
you-
theater.
Stupid
I have
theater.
not seen it.
In the chat, has anyone seen Godzilla -1 in the theater? I can't find a theater around me that even has the damn thing. But I've heard such great things
It'd
about
be
it.
nice to see shove them on digital and get everybody to grab it there, you know?
I had to read that as I'm swallowing. I almost spit it out.
I'd rather fart in a tub. Sure, make some bubbles. Sure.
And this is it. You know, a lightsaber they put in a blast wall that's like 6 feet thick of some super metal.
Yeah.
And it's got to melt it. You stab a person, they should be dead. No, not a woman. Ah, my ovary. And then they're fine.
Ovary protected me. But it's getting to the you know, like, no, even Paul is like, I can't find it anywhere. Like, it's so maybe there's look for an announcement that'll be, you know, coming out digital. I hope it does.
I'm sure it will, but from what I'm hearing about it, I want to see it in theater. I'd like to support them. I just can't find it anywhere.
For sure. Yeah, apparently they didn't think it would do well at all. It was just the underestimation of the year.
Well, know why it's doing so well? It wasn't sexist. It wasn't woke. They had a story because my understanding.
The
Don't
big
spoil it.
dinosaur-looking thing.
Well, my
that
understanding,
wrecks shit.
Godzilla
That's
is
it.
not even the focus. It's his movie, but the focus is on the people, the characters, their individual stories. Godzilla's in it. He's there, but guess what? It's actually a story. We actually care about the people. You learn about the
Yeah.
characters. You care about
Yeah.
this guy who was supposed to be a kamikaze pilot. All this stuff. It's amazing when you actually spend time and write a script.
Yeah. When which would probably, whoever's good for the job. You know what I mean? Whoever it is.
Well, I have to
don't
say,
care what
this
sex you are, as long as it's a good story. It could have been Donald Duck writing the
well,
damn story.
I got to say, this was a great way to start 2024. This episode was on fire.
Yep.
And it was the first of 2024. This will be very memorable, Stephen. Congrats.
Yep, exactly. This one for the books.
Congrats. Congrats. So I know Super Game Room dudes will be kicking off any minute. But the people did stick around for my foul mouth.
We don't usually swear, so once a year is fine.
Don't usually, but when it gets to Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy, I can't
we
help
let a
myself.
little F-bomb sometimes slip or a shit or something.
Yep.
But generally speaking, we're rated PG normally.
Normally.
So in the end. So we're getting to the top of the hour. Thank you guys for even coming tonight because it's just wrapping up the holidays. Everybody's burnt out from not sleeping in their own bed, from going to relative to relative to relative like I did. That's basically what I did. I went to one relative, slept like crap.
Twisted Gaming
another
TV. We got to get you on too, bud. We need to have you on one day. I know you're busy. You're working on videos, but if you have some time, we want to have you on here. We'll have a
Send an
three-way.
email to Glenn.
We have a three-way. What do you think, Stephen?
Sure. Bring the loop.
All right, listen. Again,
know.
I want to thank all you guys. I want to thank you for the super chats. It's never necessary, but I do appreciate it. Every one of you guys, I thank you for sticking through this episode. But man, that just pisses me off when I hear people talk like that.
Same here.
So I want to wish you guys again, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us in the first episode of 2024. We will have R-Cade here next week. Maybe we'll get Twisted Gaming on one of the shows coming up. But Stephen, take us out.
Check us out. Remember, nothing in the future is promised. So make sure you tell everybody in your house around you that you love them and you cherish them forever because nothing's written in stone. They may
Especially
be
a
gone
good Star Wars
tomorrow.
film.
Yeah, a good Star Wars film, yeah. And especially after these holidays, tell them that you love them because usually the holidays is a high stress time. You want to make sure you bring that down a little bit, bring it closer to reality. So with that, what do we say? Game on? Game on? Game off?
Screw
Game
Kathleen
on?
Kennedy and game on.
Yeah, exactly. Good night.
Game on.